Okay, so we're going to start with circles today. This is your standard form for a circle. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. H and k are the center values for our circle, h being the x value, k being the y value. And our r is the radius, and r is always squared in the standard form. So if our center was at the origin, our equation would look like this: x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals r squared. And if we simplified that, we'd get x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Our example for today, we're going to use x squared plus 4x plus y squared plus 6y plus 4 equals 0. Our first step we have to do is move this 4 to the right side. So we're going to get x squared plus 4x plus y squared plus 6y equals negative 4. And then we have to complete the square. So we're going to have x squared plus 4x, and then we're going to leave a little space for whatever we have to put here to complete this square. And then we're going to do the same thing for y, and then we need to add both of those values to the right side as well. To actually find what we need to put in these spaces, we have to use this formula right here: b divided by 2 squared. So we're going to take b, which is our 4, and b, 6 for our y. So for the first one, we're going to do 4 divided by 2, which is 2, and then square that is 4. So we're going to put that in the first space. For y, it's 6 divided by 2, which is 3. 3 squared is 9. So we're going to put that here. And we also need to add these to the right side. Always remember that. So then when we simplify this, we get x plus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 9. Okay, so looking at our formula, our simplified formula, we can see now that we have negative 2 and negative 3 as our center coordinates. So we go ahead and point that. So negative 2 and then negative 3, and then plot that. And then our r squared is going to be 9. So our r is going to be 3. So we move 3 points away from our center in every direction. So up, down, left, and right. And then once we plot those points, we just connect them. And then that makes our circle.
Alright guys, so today we're talking about a parabola. These are our two parent functions when we're talking about a parabola. X minus h squared equals 4p times y minus k, and p is not equal to 0. And our second parent function is y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h, and again p is not equal to 0. So when we're talking about our first parent function, we're looking at these two types of graphs here. When p is greater than 0, our graph is going to be facing upwards, and p represents the distance away from our vertex, as you can see here. When p is less than 0, our graph is going to be facing downwards, as you can see of our p here again. When we're talking about our second parent function now, we're looking at these two types of graphs when they open left and right compared to the first two that opened up and down. So when p is greater than 0, our graph is going to be facing to the right, and p is less than 0, our graph is going to be facing towards the left. Let's try our first example here. We have y plus 4 squared equals negative 8 times x minus 2. Right? So first step we want to do is find the vertex. We know our vertex is going to be 2, negative 4, because when we're looking at this equation, we're looking inside of the parentheses for our x and y coordinates, and we're looking at the opposite, whatever's opposite inside of there. So over here, y plus 4, we know our y vertex is going to be, y-intercept is going to be negative 4, and for x is going to be positive 2. That's how we got our answer there. And the second step is you want to solve for your outlier. Solving for your outlier, you're just going to take your p that you have here. You ready? It said this equal to 4p. So it's negative 8, you set it equal to 4p. You're going to get negative 8 equals 4p divided by 4 on both sides. Simplify, and then you have negative 2 equals 4p. So when you get that, you have your vertex, and now you have your p. You want to just graph your vertex for now, and then we'll move on to the next step. After you've graphed your vertex, you're going to want to move 2 spaces towards the left to get your focus, which is always inside of your parabola, and then 2 to the right to find your directrix. The distance will always be the same amount between your focus to the vertex and from your vertex to directrix. Hyperbola. We're talking about hyperbolas. The two parent functions that we want to keep in mind are x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared, y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. And then the other parent function we want to keep in mind is y minus k squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. When we're talking about our first parent function, we're looking at a graph like this, where the two parabolas are facing opposite ends, and the second parent function is when the two hyperbolas are facing opposite ends, but this time up and down compared to this one, which is facing from left to right. Let's talk about an example today. For an example, we have 4x squared minus y squared equals 16. So in order to get this problem to look like this, what we're going to want to do first is divide out by that 16 to both sides. So when we divide out by 16, your 16 over 16 gives you 1. Your 4 over 16 gives you x squared over 4, and then your y squared over 16. So when we have that now, basically we can just simplify this down again to give you x squared over 2 squared minus y squared over 4 squared equals 1. So then now, in order to find our center, we know there is nothing that is in front of the x or the y, so our center will just be 0, 0. So now moving on to the graphing part. When we have our graph, first we're going to want to plot our center, right? After we plot our center, we're going to look back at the work we previously did, and we're going to go to the left and to the right, because that is what we got on the bottom of our x squared value, and then 4 up and 4 down. So 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 4 up, 4 down. Once we have that, we want to draw an imaginary rectangle connecting these points, and then we're going to draw another dotted line through the center of that circle, creating our two asymptotes. And from there, since it is x squared over a squared, which we have up here, x minus h squared over a squared minus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. We already know that it's going to be facing left and right, so all we have to do now is start from these 2 points here, finish off the graph so that it does not touch our asymptotes anywhere, and then you have finished your graph.